To whoever's watching this. My name's Hannah. I'm a graduate from OCSA Acting, class of 2019, so just last fall. And I'm here making a little video because Ms. Dorian asked me to talk a bit about my experiences post OCSA, what I'm doing with my life now, why I've chosen to go where I go to school, and if I have any other wisdom to impart on current students. So yeah, but I guess the first thing, I guess you guys should know a little bit more info about me. I currently go to the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. It's in London, but because of all the craziness of COVID-19, I'm currently back here in California. But yes, the last, since September, August, I've been mostly living in London. Came back for winter break, and obviously came home for COVID-19. But yes, and a little bit why I chose to go to Guildhall. Well, I had wanted to go to a school in the UK because I was really interested in the training out there. I felt like from my research, it seemed like schools in the UK do a really good job of mingling the relationship between connection, technique, so by technique, like voice and speech work, as well as your body. And I also have a big interest in classical texts, particularly Shakespeare, and I feel like they give you a really extensive handle on that at schools in the UK. Anywhere, all drama schools give you a good handle at Shakespeare, but I felt like I might get an even better focus in a school out there. I also wanted to go someplace far from home because I an opportunity to be a student of the world and learn a bit about, I don't know, have my little world bubble popped, and learn a bit about a culture that's not mine. Obviously they speak the same language as us, so it's not too wildly different, but still there are aspects of living out there that are shockingly different, and I think that's good to learn as a human being and as an actor. We're all we're trying to do is be empathetic creatures as actors, and I think going someplace so far, I'm really forced to really expand my humanity and learn about people that aren't like me, even though they're not that different. I'm making it, I don't know, sound like they're wildly different, but they're, in some ways they aren't, and some ways they are, and I think that's really useful to learn as a human being and as an actor. And then as far as why I chose to go to Guildhall specifically, they had a lot of draws for me, including they have a voice teacher there called Patsy Rodenberg. She's like one of the most famous voice teachers kind of around. So that was a big draw for me. She's a great teacher. Has a lot of really great books as well, but really awesome to have in person. And one thing that I really wanted to talk about was that I also just really got good vibes from the auditions and callback, and I think that's something that I'd really like to impart on students at OCSA. If you're planning on choosing the route of going to of studying acting after OCSA, choosing acting and not going straight into the industry, going to school, I really think you have to choose some place that you get the right energy from, that you feel like, okay, I could be a part of this community. I could create and make brave creations at this place, which I didn't feel like I got from every school. I didn't feel like this is someplace that I can offer all of myself to. I didn't feel that way with every callback, so I think that was really important for me to feel like at Guildhall, as well as I felt deeply challenged and enlivened and awakened at the callback, and inspired, which again I didn't feel with every school. I didn't feel like I was learning something new at the callback with every single school that I went to, but I did feel that way at Guildhall, and I think that really sold it for me. Um, I had this big emotional breakdown at my Guildhall audition, and not that isn't to say that that is what acting is, you know, big cries or whatever, but I do think um, it was a testament to the way in which teachers at my school really know how to, in a way that's safe and sensitive of your psyche, how to really dig in to a text and use it. So yeah, that in terms of how it's going there so far, I mean, that's just what I was talking about. The teachers there really know how to open you up while also being cautious and aware of your humanity, and that we're all sensitive beings that need patience. It's a great balance between pushing you to where you can be, who you can be, how much you can learn, how much you can offer, how brave you can be, while also, understanding that we're all learning and we're all in process. So yeah, I've really loved going to Guildhall these last few months, and continuing to go to Guildhall even though we're doing classes via online remotely. Yeah, because I'm learning so much about my own voice and my own body, where I hold tensions and how to get rid of these tensions, so that I could play a character, or that has a different walk or different body than me. I feel like I'm really getting that from Guildhall, and how to be connected in the moment with your fellow actor. I'm really loving all the classes that I'm taking on that, and how to be a member of an ensemble, of a company, how to tell stories without cynicism, and how to meet a text. By meet a text, I mean, whatever an author is asking you to, give and do. How do you do that? So yeah, I feel like I really love Guildhall because I'm getting all of that from it. And yeah, things that I've learned from OCSA that really helped in my transition from OCSA to further education, drama school. I guess a really big thing that first came to my mind is taking my time. I feel like you get that from a lot of teachers, where it's like, your teachers at OCSA, when you're up there in the space, they want you to take your time so you can figure whatever it is you need to figure out, and learn from whatever exercise you're doing, what you need to learn from it. As well as making big choices. I think Mr. Walcott talks about that a lot in acting for camera, but it's true with everything. And even with more abstract work or movement stuff, it's like how brave of a choice can I make? How much can I offer myself to my fellow actors? How much can I give myself truthfully to a text? How much can I, yeah, how much can I, how brave can I be? How brave can you be? How much courage can you, with how much courage can you work, and willingness to look dumb and get in the mud and get down dirty with it, which I feel like I really got from OSHA. And then in terms of like specific advice, I was trying to think. I mean, I feel like I always say it to anybody that's asking me about acting. Who's asking me about acting? I don't know anything. I'm very young and new to this. But, I think, like I was just saying, don't be afraid to embarrass yourself. And maybe definitely do that in your acting classes at school. And I think, when you're at drama school auditions and they're working with you, like, if they give you a note that's like, pretend you're in a sword fight while you're doing your monologue, go for it full on with your whole heart. They're gonna love that so much more than somebody that half does a note and doesn't really explore what they're asking you to do. So yeah, I guess a lot of my advice is stuff about auditioning, because I in my head I'm thinking about it. It's like one of the big things for me, if I could suggest anything about the big transition from OSHA to drama school and auditions for schools, if I could tell you to learn a few monologues, I really think it's important to have a good repertoire, because at these schools, at these auditions, they'll only say we're looking for 2 things, but they really might ask you to, can you do a little bit of this? Can you do a little bit of that? Can you sing? So take the singing class seriously that you take, sophomores. I think sophomores. Yes. Because I had multiple schools that didn't say that they were going to ask me to sing. So remember that. Have a song prepared that you feel like, and you don't need to be a good singer, but can you tell the story of the song? Are you willing to tell the story actively? Yeah, so, yeah, but if, again, yes, if you can learn a few, I'd say if you can at least have, 3 contemporary, 3 classical monologues, that you've read the play of, that you've read all of, yeah, and have them memorized and prepared for any audition. That way, because you will I got so bored of doing the same monologues over and over again, and it was so nice to have these, other monologues in my back pocket that I could start doing for the later auditions. And then in terms of once you're in the room auditioning for schools, like I said, the OSHA really gives you, take your time. For those 5, 10, 15 minutes, that is your time and your space, and as much as they're auditioning you, you're auditioning them, so, take your time, be brave with what you offer, and, yeah, one thing that used to help me in taking my time, taking my space at auditions was just taking a moment to notice one thing in the room that I hadn't noticed yet. So it'd be, after, because this is kind of weird. I took off my shoes at all my auditions. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I don't know, I found it useful for grounding. So, go with shoes on, but once you're in the room, when you're about to work, I guess before you've slated, just ask if you can take your shoes off. If you're somebody like that, like me, that feels more grounded with shoes off, then do it. But yeah, once I do that, before I do my monologues, I just take a moment to notice something in the room that I hadn't noticed yet, because I feel like it just got me that little extra presence that perhaps I hadn't had in the room yet. Um, that way you can really give a performance, not a performance, that way you can work in front of them. I don't, it's all, you're always in process. That way you can show them a bit of your process in that moment, um, and be as present with the room, with the space, with the people that you're with as possible. Because I really think that's what they're looking for, you know? Um, Technique is cool and impressive and all, and raw talent is also cool and impressive and important and something that schools consider, but I think um, they also want to see somebody that can be truthful, that is willing to offer, to show themselves, to be, to show themselves in an audition and speak truth for a bit. Yeah. So that's all I have off the top of my head. And yeah, if anybody has any questions about my school, specifically Guildhall, or schools in the UK, I also auditioned for RADA and Lambda. So if you have any questions about that, just ask Miss Dorian or Walcott for my information, and yeah, I'll get back to you. But I hope I there was something in these last 16 minutes that was at all of use. And I hope everybody's staying safe and staying healthy in all this. Yeah, okay. Thank you.